Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today, guys, we're discussing about Carlo Ancelotti as the new Brazil coach. Now, before we discuss about Carlo Ancelotti, I do have a friend of mine. His name is Silva, aka San Jose, Dijo Fernandez. And basically, he's been a good Brazil friend of mine. He's featured on the channel quite a numerous amount of times. We discuss about South America, football in particular, international. And before we even get to about Carlo Ancelotti, I would just want to hear his thoughts on Dorival getting sacked because it was official, I think, like last month. So actually, 2 months ago, actually, should I say? But yeah, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I'm very happy that we finally sacked Dorival Jr. His football, the way it's just been going, it was just never gonna get anywhere. And
Yeah,
the final straw was losing 4-1 to our biggest rivals against Argentina, of course. And after that, he was like, okay, no way you're not going to, you know you're going to the World Cup playing like this. And then they finally sacked him, which was, believe it or not, 2 months ago. It felt like recently with the new announcement, but it's no, we sacked our coach 2 months ago, and it took us 2 months to find a new coach. And
yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah.
he should. In my opinion, he should have been sacked after Copa America.
Yes, yes,
But even with the terrible performances we had at Copa America in the United States, I think the only two games he had good was against England and Spain, and then after that, it just went to crap.
yeah. You saw he lost the dress. How like the players in the penalty shootout even like consulted him. Like he was just like that was just weird. Like he didn't respect him whatsoever. So like that for
Yeah,
me should have
like
been indication.
look, if you don't have respect from the players, then like it's over for you. Then it's like no one takes you serious.
Yeah.
And look,
So
Dorival Jr., he had I think around 20 to 25 jobs in Brazil.
wow.
That's like that's not good for a coach if you've had so many stints at clubs.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But yeah, now Brazil finally hired Ancelotti as a coach. So I'm sure you're very happy with the news. For me, as a neutral here, I'm very happy because for me, when Brazil is down bad, you know it's just bad. Because Brazil, for me, I don't care what anyone says, is the best national team of football of all time. And for me, when Brazil is at their best, they play some of the best beautiful football. Joga bonito. And I just think that for me, it feels weird. We're living in a world where Brazil, Germany, Italy are not as good as the previous as we expect them to be. And it's a very weird world we're living in. And for me, these are like the three royalties of football, in my opinion, of all time. So I just feel like for me, Brazil being bad, it's not good for football in general. But yeah, still, man, I'm sure you're happy with Ancelotti, are you?
I'm very happy with the hiring of Carlo Ancelotti. I think this is the best coach we could get right now with the available coaches we could have. He's the best one we could get right now. And I'm glad that it actually finally got done because in 2023 it was just rumors here and there. Some people were saying, "Oh, Ancelotti will wait till June. Oh, he's gonna come in Copa America." And in the end, he renewed at Real Madrid, and I was kind of pissed about that. Like we wasted a whole year for nothing, and that's why Dorival came because the CBF, the Federation of Brazilian Football, they panicked and they had to get someone because they didn't expect Ancelotti to renew. But then a year later, finally he comes, and it's just a year before World Cup.
Yeah,
So
it's better late than never, I guess.
yeah, better late than never.
So now let's talk the other options because I know typically this is very weird for Brazil because Brazil always had um, local coaches. This is the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, Silva, that they're going to get a foreign coach for a long period of time, right?
Yeah, it's the first foreign coach we'll have for a World Cup. We had coaches in the past, like foreign ones, from Argentina, Uruguay, and Portugal, but they only managed like 2 to 3 games, and it was like for special occasions. So it's like it wasn't really serious games either.
Yeah,
And but for World Cups, we always had a Brazilian coach for all of them, and this will be the first time we'll have a foreigner.
yeah. I want to hear your
So
thoughts.
yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts. Are you happy that you're having a foreigner, or you're like, no, we need to go back to traditional?
Nah, look, Brazilian coaches right now, well, not just right now, but for the past decade, has not been very good. Like our two best ones in the recent years was Diniz and Dorival. They both had chances at Seleção. Both of them flopped. And in the past, in my opinion, in the in this century, the two best Brazilian coaches were Tite and Luis Felipe Scolari. And Scolari, to be fair, he won the World Cup in 2002, but then we know what happened in 2014.
Yeah,
And then Tite had two World Cups as well, and he didn't win none of them, even though like he was the best one over there. And if look, if Tite couldn't win it, none of these Brazilian guys right now could win it either.
and
Like
I don't think Tita's gonna
Dorival, Dorival and Diniz, they're worse than Tite, and there was no way they was gonna do better than what he did.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like TJ has actually done the best in recent years, and he only got to quarterfinals.
Yeah, he got to quarterfinals. Even before he came, we had Dunga, who was absolute crap. And we were like in danger of not qualifying. We were like out of the qualifying spots of Dunga. And then Tite came and saved us. We played the best football under him. And then,
Yeah,
yeah, 2018 and 2022 World Cups didn't go his way. So I think now it's time to explore options, to
try
look
something
at
new.
a foreigner. Yeah, try something new. And people say like, "Oh, so no one won a World Cup with a foreign coach." Well, that's a very flawed statistic because all of the best nations, besides England, you can say, never had a foreign coach to go into the World Cup. Like Argentina, they always had an Argentine. Germany always had a German. Italy always had an Italian. Who else? France always had a French coach.
Yeah,
Spain as well always had a Spanish one. So it's like the best nations never really had a foreign coach. Brazil as well. Like they won all their World Cups with the Brazilian, and they only went to a World Cup with the Brazilian coach. They never had a foreigner. Like the foreign coaches really went to the like mid-table, like mid-average nations, like Poland or
yeah, yeah,
an African nation, you know?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So I think that statistic is very flawed, and we have seen foreign coaches do well at nations as well. Like Greece in 2004, uh, when they won the Euros, the coach was not from Greece. I don't know. I forgot where he was from. I believe he was from, I don't know, maybe Germany or something, but he was not from
Yeah,
Greece. And then
yeah. Look at
Portugal,
him. Yeah.
the one who made the final that year, the coach was actually Felipe Scolari, the Brazilian coach. And
Wow.
and then 2006 World Cup, Portugal had the best finish in a long time with the Brazilian coach. So like there has, and also I would say this, I think it was Jamaica who qualified for the World Cup for the first time. It was their coach was Brazilian. So in those like average nations, the foreign coaches have done well for them because they don't have good coaches themselves. And I think it's time for Brazil to realize it's the same situation for them. Like they don't have any good coaches right now. And people were saying like, "Oh, why not try Felipe Luis? He's doing well at Flamengo." This guy came in like October, not even a full year at Flamengo, and
Yeah, bro. It's too early, man. Too early. Too high risk.
for a big national team like this, going into a World Cup, why would you put someone like that in immense pressure? This guy, like Felipe Luis, played with probably most of these guys already. Like they won't even.
Yeah.
I don't think he will get uh like he won't get they won't take him as serious as they should. Like I think you needed an experienced winner mentality coach like Ancelotti.
Yeah, and we know Ancelotti's a proven winner. I mean, he's won everything at club level. So now I think it's a good segue to the tactics. So I've heard a lot of people say that Carlo Ancelotti isn't really known for tactics. He's just known for having his players freedom and excel in everything, which I think is a bit partially true and partially incorrect. because there is tactics and structure. Come on, he's not. Come on, don't tell me there's no structure in tactics. Like that's stupid. Like every top manager has. Now, is he as rigorous and like as rigid as other managers? Probably not. But to say he has no tactics, I think is a bit stupid. Like there's like a balance in between, you know. I think the balance is very key, and I think that's something that coaches nowadays don't really have. Is like most coaches nowadays, like the new ones, are all about possession. Like we need that possession of the ball, make sure everything's good and all. But if people don't realize possession doesn't win you games. It's about scoring goals that wins you games. Isn't that right, Silva?
It is, yeah. And Ancelotti obviously has tactics and might not be as positional as, like, let's say Pep Guardiola or Mikel Arteta or all those kind of world-class coaches, which they are world-class, but so is Ancelotti. Like, you can't tell me that Ancelotti is like an average coach with it. And then look at his resume: five Champions Leagues, the most out of any coach. He won all of the top five leagues. And yes, you may say like he's not a great league manager, which I do agree with. Like he hasn't been well in the leagues, but he's the only one who has won the top five leagues in Europe.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
And he has improved a lot of players over his all of his career. And I would say like with the Brazilian players, he's coached a lot of Brazilian players, going way back to
Yeah,
AC Milan with Kaká, Cafu, and at Real Madrid with right now Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, even though the relationship between them kind of faded away. And Casemiro in the past, Marcelo. So
yeah,
yeah, he has coached a lot of Brazilian guys. He's familiar with the culture as well. Like his style, I think suits us a lot, and not for just for us, but I think in international football, like you need someone like Ancelotti, who is like more of like a man manager, like who knows how to
yeah,
calm the squad down, make them have winners mentality. Like, and that national team football tactics is like it's not high up there.
yeah.
Like,
I was,
I don't think I don't think coaches like Pep Guardiola, Arteta would succeed at national team level. And don't get me wrong, they're world class coaches. Pep Guardiola, in my opinion, best coach of all time. But I don't think he would succeed at national team football due to like
yeah,
his style, unless he changes it up, of course. But with his style right now, I don't think he will succeed with it. Ancelotti, his style, like I would say, Ancelotti could succeed. I'm not saying he will, because we will have to see what he does with Brazil. But I think he could. I think he's more likely to succeed at national team football than the likes of Pep, Arteta, Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick. And we saw with
yeah,
Hansi Flick and Luis Enrique, they went to the last World Cup of their respective national teams and they didn't even make the quarterfinal.
yeah. It's
So like
true.
it's not necessarily like you need the most tactical coach out there to win a World Cup. You just need, in my opinion, you need a coach that knows the culture, has the respect of the players, has the winner's mentality, and knows how to like calm the group. You know,
Yeah,
like
because
that's what
yeah,
Scal at Argentina, for example, that's what Scaloni does, and that's what Luis de la Fuente does at Spanish national team as well.
yeah, because I think in the club football, tactics is more important than international. International football, you just have to make sure the players. Because the thing with international club football is very different. International football, you don't have time, you don't meet with these players every single week. You don't play these games every week. You play these games every like 2 or 3 months. So you can only work what's available there. And a national team football, a national team, you got to pick and choose. You can't like sell players or like buy players. You have to work what you have. Whereas club level, obviously you can do that. So I think that's what makes it very difficult international is that you don't really have much time to prepare and train. So you just have to go with what's the best for the team to set up, and that's what makes international football very challenging.
Exactly, and you need a coach who knows how to like change the team in a very fast period. And I think Ancelotti could be that guy, even though, look, he does not have a lot of time. Like, he only has June, September, October, November, March, and then the World Cup. So it's not a lot of time. But if I had to ask me what coach you would want to be thrown into a situation, I think Ancelotti is the best one. He's dealt with pressure like this throughout his career. and I think
Yes.
he can take this pressure on, and I think he can change the team. Like for sure, it's gonna be better than what these past coaches have done for us. I still
Yeah.
don't. I don't expect us to win the World Cup next year, but would hope. I would like to think that we would compete at the highest level. I would like for him to stay till 2030, but for now, it's like he's going to 2026, and that's where his contract ends. But
Yeah.
if you want to have our chances higher to win the World Cup, you need a coach like Ancelotti in this
Yeah.
period of time as well.
Okay, I want to ask you this question. And now to play devil's advocate, do you think, because I've heard people say that he has never managed international football, does that make you a bit concerned going to a World Cup that this is a huge, or you think that's fine, he's never managed international, he'll deal with it, as you mentioned with club. He's handled so much club that he can handle international as well.
I mean, yeah, he's never coached the national team, but you look at other national teams as well, like Argentina with Scaloni. He didn't even coach a national team before. England with Thomas Tuchel. He didn't manage national team before England. Um, Germany with Julian Nagelsmann. He didn't coach the national team either. So I think we're not the only ones who are hiring a top manager like this who has never coached the national team football. So a lot
Yeah.
of them who also have done this as well. And I think what matters is like what I said it like a couple minutes ago, like those four key components to being successful in national team football and why I think Ancelotti has those requirements in him.
Okay, so
Like I think
let's just segue. Oh, sorry.
I think he can I think he can change it up. I think he can change the mentality of this team very quick.
Okay. Okay, so let's segue nicely to the next segment. So, what do you think Brazil have struggled in the, let's say, basically post World Cup, post 2020? What do you think has been Brazil's biggest issues, and how do you think it?
Everything
Wow.
everything after the World Cup has just been downhill. And like I
So,
didn't expect us to be this bad after the World Cup because like we have the talent. Like I thought like we could and I thought we can have like a base to build off of, but like we didn't even have a coach. We didn't have an official coach till like 2024. So like we wasted our entire year without a real coach. We had two interims. Hamel Menez is, by the way, the worst one out of them. And then we had Diniz after that, who was also interim because we expected Ancelotti to come after, which didn't happen until now, of course.
yeah,
And like everything's just been downhill. Like this, the players have been misguided, but I'm not gonna blame everything on the coaches. Like I think the players do have some to have blame on because some of them don't even show the passion for the national team, like as they do at club level. Like for example, Vinicius Junior at Real Madrid, he was like one of the best in the world. But at Brazil, like he doesn't show any like an ounce of that at Brazil. And it's the same with Rodrigo as well. Like at Real Madrid, he was really good, but at Brazil he does nothing. And it's the same with the midfielders like Bruno Guimaraes. At Newcastle, he's fantastic, and at Brazil, he just fell off. But I do
yeah,
think that some of it, the players are being misguided. Like for me, you say Ancelotti has no tactics. Look at what Dorival Jr. was doing. That guy is the one who has absolutely nothing. Like that
yeah,
guy didn't know what he was doing. Like
yeah. That's
even
crazy.
Vinicius Junior was like yelling at him, saying like, "What do you want me to do? Like I don't know. I don't understand what you want me to do." Like the
Yeah,
midfield was not there. There was nothing to build off of. Like we were relying on our defenders to just play it to Vinicius or Rafinha or to Paqueta. Like
yeah,
and the defense as well. To be honest,
yeah,
look, with Dorival Jr., surprisingly our defense was his best way.
yeah.
And
The defense
we
was actually
still
decent.
lost we still lost 4-1 to Argentina. So like it's just everything's just been a mess.
So, so
And
what do you think
I
is?
would
What do you think needs a? Oh, sorry. What do you think needs the biggest fix? Like, what do you think will fix? Like, if this gets fixed, everything else will fix by itself. If you had to choose
I
something.
think I think the midfield. I think the midfield we have to stop doing the double pivot. I hope Ancelotti uses the three midfield or even four. Like you can use three midfielders and then have like a 10 in the middle, like most likely Neymar if he's fit. Like Ancelotti throughout his career, I've noticed he has always used three or four midfielders for his team.
Yes.
Like I've never seen him use like a double pivot. Like at Real Madrid, at AC Milan, even at teams like Everton, PSG, Napoli,
Napoli.
even Juventus. Like he's always used like three to four midfielders in his team. Like he has never used two because for him, he wants the balance. He wants balance right there. Like he doesn't want to have like a full-on mess like what Dorival was doing. And
So
I
you,
hope he
so
does that
you,
with Seleção. Even though we have amazing attacking firepower, but in the end, like that's not going to win you anything if you're just going to rely on that without a proper midfield.
so you, so you think if the midfield gets fixed, the attack will be fine, right?
I think if the midfield is fixed, I think the attack will do much better because we have
Yeah.
the attacking talent. But the problem with these past coaches, like they see this talent and they get overwhelmed and they're like, okay, I'm going to play all of them at the same time and just completely disregard the midfield and just put two of the best ones they think and they just do that,
Okay.
which
Okay.
which I don't think Ancelotti will do. I think he will do three midfielders or even four with Neymar. Like he'll put Neymar as the 10 and he'll have like three midfielders behind him. And I did see that Ancelotti did talk with Neymar that he thinks that he's a very important player for Brazil, which
Obviously.
is that's obvious. He's our best player, even when even if he's injured. Like none of these guys are on his level. And
Obviously.
he did talk with Casemiro that he will call him back up because he sees him as important as well. So I think that Casemiro will probably be the starter with two other midfielders, probably Bruno Guimaraes, and the other midfielder, I don't know who he will choose. I don't think Gerson is going to start under Ancelotti, but I think it'll be
Andre
someone else.
Santos. Andre Santos,
Maybe
man.
maybe Andre Santos, and I'm sure Ancelotti does watch League On because I saw three players that he wants to know about that he has scouted already. Number one, the GOAT, Anthony from Real Betis in La Liga. Ancelotti wants to scout him. But the other two players on League On is Caio Henrique from Monaco, the left back,
Yeah.
and actually a center back from Lille, Alexandro, which even I'm surprised about it. Like no one has ever mentioned him. And like I was talking with some people who watches League On, they tell me like he's a very underrated center back. And if he's
Yeah.
watching them, I'm sure he knows about Andre Santos, who has been one of the best midfielders in the league, scoring almost every game. So I hope like he knows the player, he who knows what players to call up. Like I
Yeah.
hope like the call up list is great.
And I think fullbacks are also something that Brazil that has been bad in these last couple of years. So
Yeah, and Caio Henrique, that's a very good option that has been disregarded by everyone. And Ancelotti is actually acknowledging him for once out of all of
yes.
our other coaches. Like I'm glad about that. We have a coach right now who knows what he's doing. Like that's the thing. He knows Europe as well. He knows Europe, and he knows like the players that are playing around there. And I
Yeah.
also saw somewhere that he's going to move to Rio de Janeiro and live like in a good house. And during the summer, he's going to watch the Brazilian league as well to see like which players he can
Yeah.
call up from there. So I think
Yeah.
I think he knows what he's doing. Like he's watching everything. Watching our, of course, our local league, and he's watching all of Europe. He wants scouts as well. He's gonna
That's
hire a
good.
lot of scouts. And believe it or not, you know Paulinho, the
Yeah.
Barca former Barca midfielder, he's gonna be added to Ancelotti's staff
Oh my wow.
because
So
he's
that's
retired. He retired a year ago, but he's gonna be hired to his staff because he's going to help him with the Brazilian league, with the players, of course, because he played there recently before he retired. So he knows the players, and he's gonna help Ancelotti choose it. And another one is gonna be, of course, Ancelotti's best friend, Kaká. He's gonna be joining the staff. So I think
Yeah.
leaders like that, I think it will help the team a lot. Like they're gonna see like idols like this on the bench, and they're gonna be like they're gonna have motivation.
All right. So last segment before round off. Do you think with this hire, Brazil could win the World Cup next year, or like maybe we'll see, or you don't know? That's hard to say.
Repeat that again.
Do you think Brazil is now World Cup contenders with Ancelotti back as a manager?
I think so, yeah. Like we always go into a World Cup being one of the contenders, if not the
Oh yeah,
favorites.
of course.
I don't
Yeah.
think we will be the favorites this time. I think we'll just be a contender. But I think Ancelotti will improve this team a lot, and I
Okay.
hope we do it, but I don't think we will.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too soon to say, but who knows, maybe the next couple of months will change my mind drastically because international
We
football
will
guys,
see.
international football guys is very fast. Like a lot can change in a few months, so we,
Exactly.
we, a lot can change. So
And look,
definitely very.
I'll tell you this, in both of his stints at Real Madrid, the beginning in 2014, Real Madrid were like struggling in the Champions League. I have been on a 12-year drought, I think, or 9-year
Yeah,
drought,
12. I think it was 12 years.
12-year drought of the UCL. And they won three semifinals in a row, flopped in all of them with Mourinho. And then they got Ancelotti coming in with the team that's been distraught from the past exits. First season, he wins the Champions League, completely changes
Wow.
the team. And then the second stint at Real Madrid, I think that was much harder because we know Zidane the season before they went trophyless. They won absolutely nothing,
I remember
and
no
like he,
Ronaldo.
no Ronaldo as well, and he came in, and no one even expected them to win the Champions League. Like people were like laughing at Real Madrid. They were saying like, "Oh, you've got rejected by Mbappe, staying at another season at PSG." Vinicius Junior, who he's not doing anything because at the time he was like
Yeah, at the time Vinicius was bad. They
exactly
laughed at
no
him
one
all the
believed
time.
in Vini Junior, and like the team was just destroyed. And he came that entire season, he won the double.
Yes.
He completely changed it. So like Ancelotti is a guy who knows how to change things in a snap, just like that. And I hope
Yeah.
he does it with Brazil. We will see how it does next month. And then obviously in the next couple months as well, we'll see what kind of scouting he does and throughout the summer. Then obviously in September, October, etc. We'll see how we play. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think we will be contenders with Ancelotti.
It's funny you say that because Brazil are basically the same as Real Madrid. Brazil have been laughing stocks in the basically after the World Cup, and now imagine they actually win it now. It'll be very
Oh,
interesting.
that will be
And
amazing.
yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong. 2002, like Brazil were struggling so bad, and then they actually won the World Cup. Am
Yeah,
I right in saying this?
2002 we were not the favorites at all because we were struggling a lot in the qualifiers and people were even saying like why is R9 going to the World Cup? This guy didn't even play in the qualifiers. And then he was actually our
Wow.
best player in the World Cup. Like, they were like
Okay.
criticizing the coach for calling him up.
Okay. Last question I have before round up: if Ancelotti does win a World Cup with Brazil, does that cement him as one of the best coaches of all time?
In my opinion, he will be the best of all time if he wins the World Cup with Brazil.
Yes, because
Because
how many managers?
look at this resume he will have. Five Champions Leagues, the most out of any coach. One at two clubs, of course.
Yeah,
The top five leagues, he won them all. And then a World Cup with Brazil. Yeah, man. Who can say that they did that? Who can say
I
that?
think I think the only one that can maybe is Del Bosque. I think he's the only one, right?
No, Del Bosque and Lipe, I think, the Italian coach. Oh no, I don't
Oh
think
yeah, yeah,
I don't think Lippi. I don't think he just won the World Cup at Juventus. He made this. I don't know, but yeah, Del Bosque won it both. But Del Bosque, he didn't win top five leagues. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like Ancelotti did that,
yeah.
so like he
So
will
he's the
have
only one that can rival.
everything. Like World Cup,
Yeah,
I think if he wins the World Cup next year, he will retire right there. And in my
yeah,
opinion,
probably.
go for it. Yeah, it's deserved. Retire with the World Cup.
Yeah, World Cup is very difficult to obtain. So yeah, he will definitely. In my opinion, he's already in the best coaches of he's already in for this 21st century. But if he wins a World Cup, he's definitely of all time, like probably number one of all time, for that matter. If I'm
Yeah,
being honest.
yeah.
So yeah, but anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this recording, guys. Like I said, guys, if you guys did enjoy, let me know in the comments below, guys. Remember, guys, like and subscribe. Follow Silva on Twitter, by the way, and also if, send my friend request on Discord if you guys want. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.